Hey everyone!
Ready for another garden tour?
Why not, huh? So since we have the chickens out on in the yard eating the clover, I think they've been liking it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they like that. I don't think they've seen that yet, so we should.
You'll see it in a minute. We made the net go out so the chickens will eat up all the clover for us, and that's what I did last year, and I actually planted in the spots that were really infested with clover instead of spraying, and it actually worked. So I'm like, let me try that again with these baby ones. Plus they gotta get used to that. Garden tour, week 10. Sunflowers. Well, I'm about 7 foot, so they're about 14 feet. No, I bet you they're...
Matt is not 7 feet tall.
I bet they are... It'd be 12 to 13. I'd be pushing, I bet. I should get a tape measure. Maybe I'll do that in one of the vlogs.
So our cucumbers definitely didn't turn out how we'd hoped this year. Our 2 arches we have as you come into the garden, we were hoping that at some point they'd just be covered with cucumbers. And I'm trying not to let that hold us back, and maybe that'll happen next year. But we have pickled so many cucumbers. We've got lots of jars of pickles going. We've got refrigerator pickles. I feel really good that we were able to get a lot of pickles up, even though the cucumbers had all this craziness going on, and next year will be a new year for it. We have been having a lot of storms. A lot of our tomato plants have fallen over and they need picking up. We also got a lot of rain, which means that our tomatoes are growing a lot, which is really awesome. We have lots of red tomatoes. Our Romas are all starting to come in, and I am going to be canning something tomato this week, so that's really exciting.
So here's a tip for you guys. We didn't have any rain for a while, actually. I think it was about 6 days, and it was really dry and just things weren't looking good. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna water the garden in the morning. And when growing up, if you watered it in the morning, then during the day the tomatoes will dry out, and you have better chances of not getting blight. So hooked up the sprinkler, let it go, put out red solo cups in 3 spots on the top of the garden, in the middle, and down there. Wait until I knew I had an inch of rain, inch of water, and then what I did is I shut it off, and then guess what? We had a storm, and then another storm, and now they're saying another one tonight. So if you need rain in your area, maybe try sprinkling your garden, or put a sprinkler on your garden.
So we have so many zucchinis in the garden. They are just coming up everywhere. So we've been excited to find new ways to use zucchini. This week I made a mock apple crisp recipe using zucchini in place of apples, and I did not care for it, but even the kids liked it. So I was really surprised by that. I think I'll just kind of make a few tweaks next time I make it so that maybe I can be fooled that it's zucchini. They all knew, but it was just kind of fun to try it and see if they liked it. And I'm going to, as soon as we have a few bigger zucchinis, try a canned mock pineapple recipe. I'm excited to see how that turns out. Some of the cabbages in our garden are forming some good sized heads. We aren't having a ton of luck this year. We definitely had a lot of cabbage worm. We do have a lot of holy leaves and stuff, but some of the heads are about this big, and for us that's pretty normal or good. So we're gonna harvest some of those and get some sauerkraut made. We have beans. Our pole beans are finally producing beans. Again, we just kind of put these up next to our fence and didn't really do a whole lot for them. So it's exciting to see so many beans starting to form. We are going to be putting some bush beans in the greenhouse this week. So we are hoping to get a few more off of there and get some green beans canned as well.
So all you guys that are watching, are you guys doing anything with your garden? What kind of harvests do you have? You guys getting a lot of tomatoes? I know some people in the northern climates, like around us, everything's coming in like right now, and it comes in so fast. But I know down south, a lot of people are done and planted their fall gardens. So kind of interesting on where you guys all are located. These tomatillos are just taking over. I don't think they should be that tall. They said they shouldn't be. So it's just crazy to us how fast they're growing, how big they are, and how many tomatillos we're getting off of them. We're gonna have to can a lot, that's for sure, which is good.
So if I have one regret in what we planted in our garden this year, it's that I wish we had planted more jalapeno plants. For whatever reason, we always grow great jalapeno plants. We have been growing peppers for 10 years, and it doesn't seem to matter where we grow jalapenos, but they always do so well. So I only planted 4 plants, knowing that usually I use them for salsa. We have some jalapeno poppers and a few other things, and then I have all these leftover jalapenos that I end up freezing and not really using a lot during the year, and I hate to have that waste. So I only planted 4 plants, but we just tried some cowboy candy for the first time. Canned some cowboy candy, which we've never done before, and I'm guessing we're gonna like it because that's usually how those things go, right? And I want to save some of these because I realize we're gonna need them for salsa. We're gonna want to make some fun dishes out of them. But all those tomatillos, we need to make some salsa verde, and I wanted to use the jalapenos as our peppers, so I may not have thought that one through all the way because they're probably gonna have to be saved just for that. I wish we had planted more jalapenos. We will definitely next year.
By golly, it's the last thing I do. Next year, you can quote me on this, I'm gonna spray those cucumbers every other day with that soap so they don't go bad. They died way too early, I think. I think they should still be producing. I don't know. Darn beetles. Strawberries though are just jamming. Peanut Gallery over here is making fun of me because I said they're jamming. She goes, "Is that a joke?" And then I said, "Dad joke loading."
So I had no intention of harvesting anything while we were out here, but it looks like that storm last night knocked a few tomatoes down, so I went ahead and picked those up. I have to harvest a lot of tomatoes this week. There's a lot of red tomatoes. Uh-oh, what are you doing?
Look at this. Look how big. That's a big strawberry.
Here's the Roma tomato.
Here,
There's a
let me go
strawberry.
like this.
So Matt planted all this borage and the marigolds on the outside of the garden, and I noticed today the borage has made its way in, and we have been warned that both borage and marigolds like to take over. So do you think we'll have borage and marigolds in our garden next year?
Yep.
Oh, it smells so good. I had to come over here to smell the marigolds, so they smelled so good. So I got the borage and the marigolds, and these are the ones that are up high that the dogs can't reach. As you can see, they're trying.
Good thing she's not scared of spiders. I'll show you why. Right over her shoulder.
Oh.
See it? It's not really coming through. Daddy Longleg.
A bunch of you were teasing me because I was afraid of the chickens in one of our vlog videos. So I will link that at the end of this video in case you did not get to see me trying to catch chickens because it didn't go very well. But anyways, I'm not afraid of spiders at least.
The potatoes are doing really well. Won't be long. I just keep ducking underneath that. It's because I'm so tall. I'm sure it won't be long before the potatoes start dying off and we'll get to pull those.
Matt is holding the camera, so he has me holding the strawberries. I had some tomatoes. Just a reminder to always bring a basket when you go to the garden. Even if you say you're not gonna pick anything, you'll pick something.
So we got some watermelon growing. Kind of excited, but we don't know if it'll want anything. But look at these pumpkins. Look at that. They are just jamming. They're climbing up the wall. See that? All the way up by the bees. You're gonna have to pull them down. Don't want them to take over the beehive. But they're going great. So we have one that's just starting to turn orange. But luckily it's a pie pumpkin, so that's okay. It's just gonna be eaten anyways. I'm more excited about the watermelon, and the kids are more excited about the pumpkins, which I don't blame them.
I think they already know from past years that our watermelons and any type of melon we've grown has been personal sized. Oh.
Itty bitty.
Yeah. No one will complain about that early pumpkin pie in August, September pumpkin pie. We'll be fine. So
the greenhouse is doing really good. We took a lot of stuff out. We planted some more, which, you want to tell them what came today? Or should we not say anything?
Oh. We finally got our bush beans.
Yep.
We've been waiting a few weeks for them to come.
Our radishes are popping, as you saw, and it's really cool. And seeing the tomato plant come back from nothing, yeah. I mean, that thing is huge. It is
you gotta
unreal.
See the blossoms. Come here. We were not even sure we were gonna get tomatoes on this. Looking back, we probably should have planted at least 2 tomato plants in here of the same variety, but we quite literally took the ones you want to save seeds from separately. So this tomato plant has no buddies. It's by itself. There's 2 little flowers. So we're hoping to get a few tomatoes so we can save seeds from this plant.
Everything in here is doing really good. We're really we're just impressed with it all, obviously. First year with it. But I started to insulate all the bottom of the wall here because I don't want everything to be growing up really high when I go this fall to do it. So I'm trying to do in increments. So I use spray foam so it dries in between. So that'll help. So there won't be any breeze, and it'll keep everything a little warmer in here. So for those of you that have been watching all of our videos, thank you. But our kohlrabi was just getting attacked, and we kept finding those green worms, cabbage worms, and we'd take them off, and I'd spray it with the soap. More would fall off, I'd squish them. The other day, we went and sat down in here, and Sarah, she picked 230, and then...
Well, there was an exact number. I knew exactly how many.
It was 230, and then I was like, I'm gonna go dump the 5-gallon bucket because it had dead leaves and stuff in it. So I went to pick it up, and I bumped it, and more fell off. So she started shaking them all, and more kept falling. So we quit counting that after 230. She just dropped the strawberries. So we know there was over 230 cabbage worms in here. That's insane. And then we looked over the cabbage and shook that. Nothing on there. They just loved the kohlrabi.
I feel like, okay, I think it's so funny that we found all the cabbage worms on the kohlrabi in here and not on the cabbage that's in here. And then we found all the potato beetles in the garden on the tomatillos, not on the potatoes. What is that? Did they just name these bugs wrong? Like, are these supposed to be kohlrabi worms and tomatillo beetles? I don't know.
All right, so she's making me stand on the bottom side of the hill so she's almost as tall as me.
Yeah, I gotta pretend.
So, hope you like what you saw.
Yeah.
And if you did, give it a thumbs up. Her hands are full. And don't forget to subscribe to see more videos. Thanks.
Glad you got to see us again.
Glad you got to see us again.
Bye.
Bye.